Hello and welcome to the Twitch and or the YouTube, whichever you are being the welcome to. And welcome to the Twitch and the YouTube from the makers of Trail. Oh god, I forgot to mute my laptop for a second. So yeah, this is Makers of Trail, as you might have seen before. Now, Ocean and I noticed. Unfortunately, Ocean isn't here today. Not sure why, but that's just the way that life stinks. Ocean isn't here today, so I needed something to do. And we noticed that a lot of people actually like Trailmakers, while like some of the new games that we're doing struggling, and It Takes Two, they're not taking off as much yet. And I mean, we do love to have some people in the chat that also like the game and stuff, and that's what we're doing it for, to have people that like the streams. So we thought, let's just I thought let's just try and do some more streams of the game that some people like, which is Trailmakers, if you hadn't guessed. Now you can, if there's actually no one watching yet, but yeah, for the people watching on YouTube, there might be some people joining, because you can see here that there is actually, like, I've got the password and the server name, so people can join if they want to. Though I don't expect it to happen. It still says new on there. That bugs me. I don't expect anyone to join, but possibly. So I am like a very good, very smart human. I don't have any ideas yet of what to play or what to make, because I wasn't sure about like whether I was still gonna stream if Ocean wasn't. So I didn't really think about that yet. So I'm just gonna be making some things and then seeing what I can do with them. Probably. I don't have a plan yet. Let's make a monster truck, because I haven't worked with monster truck stuff in very long. And as you can see, I'm not great at making something look intimidating as a monster truck. It's gonna be a very basic type of monster truck, this. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop. See how that works. I believe monster truck wheels, I don't know, I'm not a great fan of monster truck wheels because they're not very nimble. They're kind of just big old brutes. I don't like big old brutes. Well, I mean, they're fun from time to time, but I like the smaller wheels because they're often much faster. What if I was thinking at first, like, maybe at the end, like when I have this thing done, I can also see how it works with smaller wheels to get like a comparison. But what if I would actually make a vehicle that can switch from monster truck mode to small? Well, small. It would still have to be big, because the things would still have to be on there, but that can switch from monster truck mode to smaller wheel mode at least. So I've done some things with, like, you know, transformation-ish things before. I can do a very basic, simple, dumb little thing, like funny little tube. Actually, I should probably change the key bindings first. So delete that. This would be, I don't know, E. So E, and then starting position 0, auto reset. And there we go. And there we go, and there we go. And so I'm gonna put the wheels underneath that. Let's do motorcycle wheels, because they're like the very smallest wheels that can still do some off-roading, because the go-kart wheels are just too small. Damn, then you look handsome. And then vroom. That's much faster. And that's much slower. Yeah, I believe the power is also being divided, like, from the engines over all of the different wheels. So that means that this, even with the same amount of engines, there's like more wheels. So each wheel will be getting less power, which is something that I might have to keep in mind. We can always try if that just works. I find that with big vehicles, it's often the art to just find enough ways to add engines to it. You're not, it's not pretty. You're kind of just making things bigger and not making them elegant or anything. I don't know why I'm making a thing. You can clearly hear that this is not my area of expertise or my favorite thing to do. But I'm still doing it because of reasons. Speed. Up. Straight lines are hard, buddy. Those wheels are faring a little weller. I think I might just take off the monster truck wheels, and just make this a fast, smaller vehicle. It's still not going to be very small, as you can already tell, but smaller than it was before. I didn't mean to put a block in there. Sometimes that's how easy it is to go fast. The question is, how will we ever manage to get it better steering? Or to survive anything. Well, it's just too much fun to just drive around with vehicles that don't really work. Now, I mean, the whole thing about this was the motorcycle wheels, so I'm not going to change those because that's part of the challenge now. So I'm going to try to make a motorcycle vehicle or motorcycle wheel vehicle very fast, but also very controllable and very nimble and all that. You'd be surprised how much spoilers can help if you're not even doing that much difficult stuff or anything. Just having some spoilers on there will really help often. And of course, there's such a thing as overkill on spoilers, but not in my book. You have to find someone more sane than myself. Whoop. And if you... Oh... That's a wheel that's folded in on itself. If you have enough spoilers, you can also wall run a bit. Wall ride. That's... Well, in physics terms, that's too much power from the back wheels that will... Well, that's not physics term. In layman's terms, I mean, there's too much power from the back wheel, which is like pulling the bottom fourth, and that makes it rotate, though. Smart terms. Ooh. I think the physics term for that is driving off the road. Well, I do think I'm gonna have to add some more gentleness with this. Because it's fast. What about the steering? Also, I just realized there's no music or anything interesting for when I'm not talking. There. More noise. How do you like that? Ooh. Ooh. I think I'm gonna apply a principle that I've applied before in this game. A boost. And then no backwards, because otherwise every time you drive backwards you will explode. So now it's driving normally whenever you're just driving. Well, normally it's still pretty fast compared to a lot of vehicles. Under 30, under 40. I think I'm also gonna do this. Hey. There. So now there's one engine that's working normally. And I don't know yet if that's gonna be enough. But it seems so far that it's pretty good. But there are still some problems with other things that I'll have to get sorted out. But for now, the normal driving has enough power. Seems to be the case. And then you're like, oh no, I need to go very fast. Vroom. That is not a great sign, but you never know. So now whenever I press space, I suddenly get the power all of 10 more engines. That flies surprisingly well. So, what can I improve about this to make it steer a bit better? The center of mass is already pretty low. I think I should keep the armored seat just because it's probably necessary. I may... Ooh, I could try if adding a bit of tilfinage helps. So I think I'm gonna add tilting there. And one there. And then do the same on this side. I should have copied that both together. That works. And then that with the wing, and bring it to this side. And oh, also, I suppose that is, oh, the front of this is not actually that unaerodynamic. That's not great though, but who cares? Actually, I think I'm just gonna replace these with some rounded 2x1, because rounded 2x1 is our friend. There we go. Actually, should I also do that in the back? Yeah, they're also generating bad news. Bad news is not what we want to hear. We want to hear good news. Does that? No, that doesn't work. I thought for a second, but I was crazy. Not much surprisingly, if you look at this vehicle. Okay. Vroom. And I guess at least this will kind of help a bit with grip, because as in, if we are going a certain direction, this will help stop it going other directions as well. It will help us go the direction we're facing in. I might also want to add some industrial grade air brakes to this. Okay, I may need a connection point in the front, and I'm just gonna ignore brains. I'm gonna ignore being smart. So I'll just add a single point that keeps that together. If I would do that in some kind of engineering school, I would be possibly assassinated. Probably not. And if I would, that would be almost definitely not because of that. I don't know why I brought that up in the first place, but they wouldn't like it, that's for sure. Okay, what was I gonna do again? I swear, I said something. Oh yeah, I was gonna add air brakes. I'm gonna add some there. And those are symbols, because I'm going to add them with a large hinge. The question is, of course, if that will also have enough power behind it. No, that would have to be this one. Oh, no. S. At an angle of 60 degrees. That's pretty good. And then strength and speed. That seems to be probably fine. Okay. I think I'm going to use good old tail fins for that. I could also try and use sails, but that's a bit overkill, isn't it? I still am not a great fan of sails, because sails are not my favorite. That's a great arguing there. Now, I am thinking, I don't know actually if I can see the speed in a specific direction. I am going to try and do logic in this game, which I don't like the logic in Trailmakers. But I'm gonna try to do it anyway. I think I'm just gonna put that one there, and then I'll need an AND gate there. This one. Oh yeah, how does that do again? Don't I need like double green to do that? And then that activates it as well. And trigger above. We'll do this so that when I have some decent speed and I'm braking, it will raise. Oh wait. That itself shouldn't do that, but that should do that. Going fast enough. Oh. Wait, do I even need these brakes then? Because I was going fast enough and then I pressed S and they went up for a second, but then they also went down again instantly. I may need to add some more strength. No, actually it's on, or more speed is what I should say. What? And then stop C's. I don't know how much it really is helping, but it might be helping. I'll just try it with no output to see if that actually. No, then I'll have to select them again, and I know that I'm going to accidentally select the wrong things because I am me. So, and then try and stop. Huh. I'm not so sure that's super necessary then. I guess now that I have it, I'll keep it on, but I won't get to do like a cool montage of like, this is the thing when it doesn't have air brakes. This is the thing when it does. That is 1 billion meters less traveled before you die. Well, no, before you... Dying is a bad thing. Before you live. After you die. Something like that. I don't know. Very smart commercial things though. So that this thing does not like to stay intact. That's something I'm seeing. I think I'm gonna add some kind of air brake-ish steering thingies. I think I also did that in Stranded in Space, what I'm about to do. When I had the hover, and then I put like things, only like air brake steering on it, and then someone was like, use the cannons, and that did work. So how am I gonna make that do the thing that I want? Maybe I'm gonna, no, that would connect. I'm thinking if I could maybe, because see, if I'm gonna do it like this, then it's gonna be up by standard. Like usually it's gonna be up, and I don't want that. I want it to be down, and then when I steer, it goes up. And but that, like, to have it down, I have to either make it so that it goes down whenever it's not going up, or that it or that it's down already and then it is like whipped up. I'm sure this makes sense in someone's mind. Oh dear. I can always literally just put cells on there and, like, I don't know, this doesn't seem like it's gonna be how I wanted. What if I just work? Oh, I can do it there. Big seal. And I put the big seal on there and a big seal on there, and then just use like E to break or something. You don't have much advanced for this yet, do you? It's like you can't do like go up unless this button is pressed, or when this button is pressed, and then go like back again. It's not like pistons, it's a whole own thing. And then whoop. Even that's not working that much. Well, then again, it's not that high speed. But what if I just put the steering air brakes on the normal air brakes? That would definitely be the, well, not the worst idea, just also not the best idea. I can put that on there. Actually, I'll still keep a pipe in there because I believe you can still trick Trailmakers to... Yeah, now these engines here, this stuff doesn't have any aerodynamics. It's just this, because space in between it's filled up, and it's like, oh, then there's no aerodynamics. Well, in reality, there should be, because there's a whole lot of holes in that pipe. But I'm gonna use that to my advantage. Huh, that's gonna be... I know, I should make something, so I'm just gonna make the odd pipe structure that I'll have to make any sense out of this. That was probably a sentence. Well, it is now. So then I put I'll just put a modular wing on there. If you ain't ready for the big guns, you aren't cool enough. That's mean. That's... Oh, is that colliding and then making me not happy? That's not what I hope would happen. I can always do this, though. I can do it like this, and then whenever I'm going to the right, it's still being stupid. Don't be that stupid, man. Don't be stupid. What about I add... I don't know. In that case, I don't know. I don't know, I think I'm just gonna say this Wow. Blueprint 409. I don't have an idea for the name. What about Bull? It is too easy, but then again, I don't know. Pizza Man. That's right, Pizza Man. Okay, so now that I've had a bit of a warm up, what about I go make something more interesting? What about I go make... Yeah, I wish I'd had time to prepare now. Because I don't have any interesting ideas. I can just make a jumping vehicle. See what ideas I have for that today. I always just like to just every now and again make some random vehicles, just put down some wheels or a cabin, and then do things that I think might work, so that I can get some ideas, so that I can get some brains, so that I can just work out some smarts, and see if they work and all that. Actually, I think I'm gonna put those thrusters further in the front, because if you don't know yet, when the center of thrust is further in the front, that means that, well, to summarize it a bit crassly, that means that it's gonna move less. I'm gonna turn this into a biplane. Like I ain't got no clue. Which just might be true. So then top that off with the tail fin, because everybody knows that the proper mode of flight is tail fins, and modular wings are kind of just along for the ride. Now that's, I think it seems like they've kind of fixed that a bit, that modular tail fins, when they, I don't know, but like at some point we realized, like, hey, modular wings aren't actually that good. You can do much better stuff much more easily with tail fins. And I like the look of that, so I'm just gonna keep it there, like a mean. And then I might see if I'll add fire to this. Adding fire to things always makes it more fun. Actually, I can just see. I don't think I'll be able to see much from this, but I killed a chicken. That's a wall. Okay. What if I make it end in like 4 different tails? For no real good reason or anything, just because I want to. Just add more tails. I really don't know why I decide to go for the things that I decide to go for sometimes. It's not more practical, it's not... I don't even know if it's more interesting, but it's just the things that my brain likes to do. Actually, I'll just make that a bit longer because it's the middle, and the middle needs to be longer because of sciencey reasons. Now that you've had the full rundown of how science, go make your own plane. It's very simple. Disclaimer, it's not simple, and don't you probably better not try and make your own plane, because that is not going to be safe. Unless you're a certified planist. But the question is, do those exist? Or is that a word that I just made up? Might never know. I think I'm going to make 2 of the tails, like, do the roll, is that? And oh, I just realized I don't actually have any actual functioning tail fins as tail fins. So I'm just going to add some of those. Some, in this context, being 4 on the back, and probably also some... I think I'm going to add some small tail fins to the front. The big wings. Did something just sploosh in the water? Should I do something with the front of it? I might add guns to that later if I have more space, if I need more interesting things to do. We'll see. Yeah. And then add hing. Adding a hing. Add another hing. And I'll do this. Also, I don't think I'm gonna like upload any of these to the Steam Workshop, because they're not very interesting to. They're not interesting vehicles. They're just fun to be making. I think for the best effect, I'm gonna have the most outward ones do the steery, the yaw. No. Roll. I think the roll. I always get those confused, all of them. Well, the pitch is how high it goes. I don't. Words very difficult. Yeah. So they have to move down. If you're moving down, which would be S, and then W. That's not. Wait, going down in the plane isn't S. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? And also I'm going to decrease that angle a bit, because it's not really rocket science, because it's not meant to go in space, because it's using a lot of aerodynamics. But it still is kind of rocket science. But, something funny about rocket science. So I'm also probably going to decrease those angles. And I just might need to add more tail. Because that whole everything doesn't seem incredibly safe. I've made some planes before out of sails, because I can't really make very good sailing ships with them, but they're very good for aerodynamics, but that I don't like. I'm gonna have to do all sorts of things for that, so I'm just not gonna do that one. How about I just do some of that? Ooh, how about I do that? Yeah, I need to move in one more. And then in the middle I do that. Hey, structural integrity, here we don't come. I don't think science is ready for me. And I don't think I'm ready for science. Yeah, I'm gonna need some more jet engine power. What do I add the Dragon Jet? or the dragon engine's there in the first place. That doesn't make much sense, does it? Well, I mean, I guess I thought at first I was going to add some kind of driving component to this, but oh, that's not very nice of you. That's not very nice. Damn. Unlike in my favor beingness. Is it still oh, it's... Now that's also unconnected. My brain is big, if you don't count how small it is. Some people will be inspired by that. Got to be. Couldn't not be. I'll just keep them downward because I'm... Oh wait, they are upward. Okay, that's good. Lots of mini thrusters. I don't want to add the thrusters too high on the plane because if you don't know yet, the center of thrust, which is the average point from where things thrust, with like the right power and the right angle as well, the average like weight over power of the place and the angle, yes, definitely totally makes sense. Practically the average place of where you're thrusting should not be too high and not too low, because if it goes too low it turns like this, it goes up too much, and if it's too high then it goes down too much. So I want to keep that good enough so that I don't go up too much and don't go down too much, because too much is not what I want. This is not incredibly well controlling. I do think I'll need to add some stronger... I may just use bigger modular wings for the roll. There. And there. And now suddenly it's going to be incredible. Definitely. Totally. See, I usually, when I want to make like planes that are like really good, I usually use helicopter engines to make them like, well, because that can just, it doesn't need speed or anything, it doesn't need to turn. Well, it needs to turn, but it doesn't need to be like a big moving part. It doesn't have its own consequences as much as these things, and it can often turn much faster. But I like to work with this as well because it's fun. And that's what I'm playing the video game for. For fun. Can we make it through the loop? Can we loop? Can we loop? Can we? Yeah. I did not expect that. I was kind of banking on the comedic possibility that I would not be able to make it in there. And then that would have been funny. But it wasn't the funny. Which is a problem. Maybe I'll lose my funny license. Maybe I'll get a funny license that I then lose. Maybe I get a clue what the hell is going on. I could also just start adding more and more and more propulsion. Like add a propeller in the front. And I might just do that. Add some big boost. Like a big brain man. That's not, no. That kind of a thing. I mean, nothing about this is worth thinking about seriously, but I'm still doing it. And so should you. But yeah, this is, I couldn't imagine that this wouldn't add so much weight and downforce with it that it would not be worth at all the thrust forward. I can't imagine it's gonna help in the end, but it will speed. I will much speed with intervals. Whoop. That's right, I put the center of thrust too much near the back. That's not a thing you want to do, because that's gonna make you not live. If I want to fly a bit more stably, what do I have to do? What does a man have to do to fly stably around these parts? What about I make this very clever like this, and then make this very clever like this, like this. What about that? Only the stupidest of people that are watching this will have any sort of clue as to how horribly wrong this idea will probably go. Because the most stupid of people are also the most genius of people. Whoops. That went the wrong way. No. Yeah. Wow. Now it looks ridiculous. Imagine that. Oh, what? It appears to not be very... Maybe... I don't know, maybe the propeller is limiting it somehow. I mean, either way, it's always the best. I can't fit a big one in there. I don't know, is this center of thrust of a mini thruster the center of the block, or the... You know, because it's like... If you look at that, like this height is around about the center of height, but this is where you would expect the thrust to come from. So is this where the thrust comes from, or is this where the thrust comes from? These types of questions are very smart, which makes me very smart because I ask them. My airplane not working makes me not as smart. Sag. So what about... what about I make an infinitely self-perpetuating chain of mini thrusters? Like this. And then like this. I mean, you gotta give me some credit where credit is due. That could never go wrong. I think it's just warming up to the idea. We'll get there eventually. Disclaimer, we are not getting there eventually. This seems like it's just too much. Is this the version that worked like this? I'll see if it works, and if it does, I guess I'll just save it and start working on another Daft vehicle, because I don't... because this is kind of a lost cause at this point. That's not going to be enough runway, is it? I'm going to need more runway. I'm going to have to head for the open straits. How did they say that again? For smart things. Words, phrases, sentences, letters. But then specific ones. Speed. 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 Is that... I mean, it is speedy. I think maybe the mini thrusters on the wings are things that I added that made it not work. Because those are adding, yeah, they're making the level of thrust higher, which means that it's harder for the vehicle to roll or to pitch up. And that's not what we want, because that's bad. Which doesn't explain much, but it does describe the current situation we're in, which is important to know. Oh, that was too late. Still though, surprisingly little broke off there. I'm gonna call this Four Tails. Very creative. Airplane. I wish you could put question marks behind that. Airplane, question mark. What more can we do? What about I make a hover bike? I don't think I used to love hovers because they were so dumb, and they're kind of just, you kind of just push them around with all the weird ideas that you have. And I've grown out of that a bit, because they're also not always super useful. But I might just try some more hovers. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to do that. And then that, because I need steering. Copy that. And these both will need to be, no, will need to be D. And these both will need to be A. See? Hover bike. See? Hover bike. Love it. Perfect. Awesome. I don't think I'm gonna... I know I'm not gonna be able to make it on 2 hoppers. I was thinking at first, like, maybe just make something that, like, you know, more of a hover quad. But I think maybe I could just make it more like this. Well, just, I could make it more like this, so that it's like kind of stabilizing. I'll see if this works. If this turns out to be totally working, then I will try to see if I can make it work in a smarter way. But for now, this shall be our attempt. Brevis. Huh. It's weird because, like, when you do this, it still feels much more like a, like it's on 2 wheels with some, like, side stabilization, while in reality that's absolutely not the case. It's kind of just on 6. This is much more like that. But then again, this is going to be all over the place all the time. I do like that it does things how it does sometimes, but it's also a bit confusing. Of course, if you have your head and skull exposed in a vehicle like this that doesn't look very exposed, or that doesn't look very, what do I mean, very secure, very safe, of course what you want is the biggest engines you can find. I should probably put those on W if I want to use them with W. And yes, I do realize that there is currently a field of aerodynamic badness on the front of my thingus. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, I do want some aerodynamic badness in the back, maybe, as a form of air brakes. Because air brakes work well. So what about I try it? How doth one generate aerodynamic badness? I can use these. That's not very good from the front though either. I'm just gonna rotate this whole thing around so that I can... Ooh, that's pretty good actually. I just need more of that pretty good. I do think if that's doing like what it was so far, I definitely think I'm gonna need some specific air brakes. I might see if I can actually make some automatic air brakes without having to make them automatic myself, which in a way is also not how they're going to work, because I'm going to make sure that with what happens they are automatic, which means that they're kind of just normally automatic again, but you'll see in a second. And I am going to need a sensor. I personally like to use an altitude sensor when I need to have an always on-y, so that I can have it on like altitude -500, and then trigger don't trigger below. And in this case, that's definitely going to work because I have a go-kart seat, so if I would go underwater, then it wouldn't work. Barred fins make great air brakes. Barred fins and hinge set to S. Yeah, I just did that actually as well. I'm gonna do a very similar thing, but then I'm actually gonna make a kind of a thing like this, and then I don't know why I'm doing it this way. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. It's not gonna be any better, I can't imagine. But I still wanted to do it this way. Is that the right angle? Yeah, right direction. Make it like 10 degrees. And then, I mean, it's not gonna... I'll hold position. I don't know. It's gonna be constantly activated either way, so... so it's like that, right? Which will just generally just give me some more downforce, which is not great, but I'll deal with it. It's always a good idea with hoppers not to go too fast, but then when you go backward, and I don't forget to do what I actually, I guess, because what I'm going to do is turn the strength down a bit, which means that when I'm going forward, it will flatten out more, because aerodynamics, and when I'm going backward, they'll be, like, if I am going fast, then they'll be pushed up, kind of like it just breaks open. It needs to be less strong. I don't know if what I'm trying to do will work, but maybe it will. Strength, make it like 3. To the point where it can almost not stand up to gravity, but just about still do that. So, and right now I'm just looking at the angle of the tail fin for my diagnostics, I guess. I don't think it's really going down much more. Is it going up? No, I don't think it's going up much. And the important thing about the important thing about air brakes is always that they activate more when you're going faster, because you don't want to have any high speed collisions or whatever the reason is for it. But air brakes are always going to work much better when you're going much faster, which is also what this design ensures extra much. I think right now the air brake is like pretty, yeah, there you can see it wobbling, and is kind of what I want, because that means that there isn't too much power, which means that it will be able to like flap up when I get to too high of a speed. And oh yeah, also I just did realize open outward, that is probably a much better idea than open downward. I don't know why. I guess it's that they always see them on planes, so my brain is like, yeah, you need to do it how they do on planes, where I believe they're usually they usually press down, but outward actually makes much more sense, because then they're pushing against each other, so they're not opposing. Oh dear. Okay, I think it's safe to conclude that the daft thing that I was doing was not really gonna work. So I think having them outward go outward is still like absolutely worth the effort. Just placing them again. Oh yeah, that might make sense. If I place some of those tubules there, and then make a hinge. I'll see what's right. Oh, yeah, jam it. Actually, I can just turn it like this, so then it won't connect. Smart. And then I can use small modular wings. I can always just try whichever works. So small modular wings on there, and then of course don't want to have it turning the wrong direction. No, that is actually the right direction that I just removed. That is the wrong direction. And this, wait, I didn't remove that. That is actually the wrong way around. I'm gonna have that on A and that on D. So there we go, and there we go. That, I'm gonna increase the angle on that a bit, because if I do 60, then it will be bigger of an angle. I also think I may need to make it a bit faster. Speed 2, like a horrible anus. That's one of the stranger things I may have said today, but it makes sense if you're very smart, which I am, according to myself. Huh. I do think I'm gonna need some powered tail fins for that. Art dolphins. I'm trying to figure out the space in my brain already. Whoop. That was a barrel. Barrely scratch. There were like 3 puns that I could have done there that everyone in the history of mankind has done. I think I could have gone for like barrel of fun, barely a scratch, or I had another one in my head, but that's mysteriously yeeted itself out of the window of my brain. Now I am hoping this isn't going to be too high. That part is too low. So I think I'm gonna add strength to that. Strength. And then I'm just gonna, it's probably smarter to do an aerodynamic block right away, because I have range, allegedly. I'm also probably best off aerodynamifying those a bit. Where's the right one that I want? Oh, just use these for now. And there. And then add a double on one. Hey. Aerodynamics in this game is pretty fun actually, because it's just puzzling. How do I get blocks in front of this? Whoop. 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 This I guess that is a bit I am counteracting my own brain there, because what's happening is I'm air braking like this, and at first I thought, oh, that's just making me go too slow, so that, because if you go, I believe it's like underneath 50 kilometers an hour or something on water, then you'll sink through the water with hover thingies, like 80 maybe. Like if you go below a certain speed, your hovers will go through the water instead of on the water. You know, you'll see here, like as soon as I reach a certain speed, like you also need the stability to stay upright on the water, or the hovers will not actually be, you know, exerting force against the water anymore. So you'll not actually be pushing yourself off on the water, which, well, you'll die. You'll go underwater, and that's not what we want. But if I use my air brake, practically has to do with the fact that the center of drag from the sides is too high, and because I'm making a very steep corner, that center is being like very much dragged against. There's a lot of drag on it because I'm going so fast, and then all of a sudden I'm on like a different angle. There, that kind of a thing. And then that makes me less stable. There, that was a great example of it. That makes me much less stable. So I'm gonna have to think of a way to make that lower. Now, if I would have air brakes that would come from the top, or like that would, like, you know, like I had them before, that they would flap up, then they would also generate a bunch of downforce on that side, which would make me go into the water. I may I think what I'm gonna want to do is really just make sure that my air brakes are on a good level of height, and I think that's not gonna work if I use the Delphin, so I'm gonna have to find something that has a better level of height. Oh yeah, and I don't want to miss out on having a corner there, because that would be not so great. I don't think this was enough, right? I mean, I don't suppose it was enough, because otherwise I would have still had it on there. But you never know. My brain does really weird magical things sometimes. Oh yeah, I also have the little thrusters already to steer. I did not think about that. I guess I can use extra steering. I guess this is kind of just like, because I have such high speeds, it helps, but I already have thrusters which don't depend on like the downforce or on the drag or anything, so they kind of just help regardless. So this is kind of just nicer for high speeds with air brakes, but I don't actually need them. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I thought of that I did need them, which was a wrong thought, but I guess that's fine. Yeah. Huh, this is, I believe the fastest hover I've made was about 300 kilometers an hour. Now that did turn a bunch better than this. I mean, this is a bit half of an experiment, and I didn't know what I was making at first. I had a hover once that, like, before the leaderboards were reset once, I had, I believe, a 5th and a 7th place on the both race island hover races. I believe that was the reset, like before the reset of, I believe like a few days before the reset, where they had the update that, I just had it in my brain. Oh yeah, where you couldn't do hover races with wheels anymore, or wheels with wheel races with hovers, that kind of a thing. I don't know if I'll be able to add much to this anymore. I think I'm just gonna save it. Yeah. It's French for not hover. This is something that I really like to do, by the way, when I'm playing Trailmakers. Just find some dumb little ideas and just play around with them. Should I try once again? I think I may try to make the smallest car that works well. I'm gonna need motorcycle wheels because I don't have any roads. Unfortunately, that does already spice up the size a bit. Yeah, this is not gonna be a small vehicle. I'll just see what my brain leads me to. I'll just make a somewhat small vehicle. Now I don't want to unbalance the whole thing by putting like a bulldog engine on the back. That would probably be a bit hard. Actually, I'm not so certain that it is because it's so slow. It definitely seems like the back wheels are dinging in a bit more, quite a bit more, which means that like when you're going uphill you might have some problems with it, but This hill is not steep enough to make those problems. I guess I'll just see for a bit if I can make a very small vehicle very good. Now, I will need a better engine if I want to make a small vehicle actually good. I think this is actually not a bad idea. I mean, actually, having a Dragon engine on such a small vehicle is kind of, per definition, a bad idea. I think I'm gonna do a very, very, very smart, and also it's actually an interesting technique that it's kind of marginally good. An interesting technique that will probably seem very dumb to anyone that just sees it for the first time. I've applied it before in making vehicles, and it kind of does work. Now I'm gonna just actually I'm gonna do that hold position just for lols. I don't know, because it probably should. And then I add a logic altitude sensor to, what was it? Oh yeah, to all of these. And there we go. This looks very dumb. In real life, you don't want to do this with your car because it's going to wreck all of the everything everywhere. Well, in the bottom, everywhere in the bottom. It's going to wreck the bottom. Luckily, in this game, you don't have to worry much about the durability of your vehicle a lot of the time. This is... I will say, this is faster than I thought I would make a small vehicle go today. That surprisingly did not flip over. I don't have any things built in yet against it flipping over. Well, I mean, this is... the wheels turning inward is a bit against it flipping over. Because what I'm doing with that is two things. One, I'm lowering the center of mass, which is also, the center of mass is practically the same as the center of gravity, which seems to be, many more people seem to know about the center of gravity than the center of mass. But, of course, the center of mass is about mass in general, and the center of gravity is about gravity specifically. So it's kind of just the center of mass is where gravity also centers. Practically, the center of mass is in the same place as the center of gravity, but mass has more effects than just gravitation. One of the effects that it has is momentum, which is kinetic energy, which it's not making much sense to most people, but to some people, this probably makes sense. Then again, those will also probably be people that already know why you need to lower the center of gravity or the center of mass on a car. Is it slipping too much because I'm too far away from the floor? Or is it slipping so much because I'm... is it slipping so much because the wheels are just not good enough? Oh yeah, by the way, and also another thing that lowering the wheels or like turning them inward like that does is it broadens the wheelbase. Now the wheelbase, if the wheelbase is broader, then that means that I am upping the, like heightening the center of gravity with this a bit. Just ignore any things that I'm doing that are dumb, please. But yeah, another thing that it's doing is it's broadening the wheelbase, which means that you have to have more force and or, well, I guess just force working on it to the side to actually flip it over. And if you need more force to flip it over, then that means that it's going to flip over less, which is something that seems quite favorable if you ask me. Now, I don't seem to have any place to strut that up. I might just I just do this there, and then just place some blocks behind that. And then also another one of these, because that, I don't know why I'm already concerning myself with that is going to definitely heighten the center of gravity, which is not something I want to do yet. What I was doing was making a third set of wheels, because as I said, I want to make more grip, and that's a way to make more grip, just to have more surface. So I'm going to copy these wheels. That is not how I hoped that would go. Oh, I did not mean to be down here again. I suppose it would be this way. Huh. That is not what I would hope would happen there. What happened there? I think what was happening was maybe the wheels were just like having friction with each other. In which case I have to come up with some smarter ideas. What about I could do some really dumb smart stuff right now. But I don't know if that's what I should go for. Maybe I should just take the hit on this and actually make them more make them spiked wheels that have more grip, because I want to keep it a pretty small vehicle. I want to keep it a pretty small vehicle, but I also still want to have the performance of it good, and I'm having to find the sweet spot between all of that, which demands some sacrifice from one to the other from time to time. Oh, that was a circle. By the way, I don't know the stats of the wheels. I know that, I know some of the things, but I don't, because I know there are stats, I believe, in race mode or rally mode. I mean, I believe there, when you unlock new things, you kind of get like a whole rundown of their good and their bad, which it is interesting and all, but I wish that you could just see that somewhere in a menu. Now I have to look it up if I ever want to, and then still I have to know how to find it, which I don't think if I would try and find that right now that I would find it. It's very interesting that these wheels, I think I may still just have I think the center may still just be rubbing against the floor too much, because these wheels should have very good grip, but they're not having as good grip as I would hope. I also just had an interesting idea. If I do a logic with a OR, then B or an A. I'm always confused by how they work. This is double good and this is double bad. I'm always I don't really get logic stuff in Trailmakers. I prefer like I really like how they've done it in Scrap Mechanic, or how they've done it in Homebrew, which is a game that I don't suspect many people would know, but it's a good game. Maybe I need to do like this, and then that does this, like half. Alright, no, I don't. No, I don't know how it. I don't get the logic. It's just too. My brain doesn't. Like I get logic. I've worked with logic for all my life in Minecraft and Scrap Mechanic, in Homebrew, but I don't get this logic. Why is it how it is? Why? I don't. It's not like you have to add 20 logic gates to make something work, even if it's not that hard of a thing. If I want to add more grip, how do I do that? If I want to add more grip, how do I do that? I was thinking, by the way, the idea that I was trying to execute there was, if I would like make the engine run less, whenever there was any, when I was pressing like A or D to turn, that it would slow down so that it could make the turn more successfully without having to compensate on, fast speed on long stretches. But I'm not too sure that that's gonna work. Oh yeah, friction pads. I may just try something very random. This was not what I meant to do, actually. My first idea was with go-kart wheels, which would not have protruded enough, actually, I guess. But this is pretty funny. And somehow it's made it up. Maybe I'm just steering better now. Yeah, this is definitely not better for general driving. Yeah, I think it was just that I steer better or something. What more can I do? It's not that compact still. Is something that I kind of do regret. I could, because I have this footprint, I have this, the 3D footprint. I want to keep the 3D footprint kind of how it is, but that means that I have enough space to put more things in there. I might actually put some. This is also a very nice thing to do. It's not very hard. Is just put some thrusters that point down, that add some downforce. So if you find that you have enough of stuff, but not downforce, then you can just add some thrusters to downforce. Will that help? Missing my front wheels won't help. I don't expect. Maybe it will, but I don't think so. See, extra downforce, like a champ, like a champignon. I always really like downforce because it just makes things so much more interestingly fast moving. It just adds a whole layer of layerness, even if it's not that hard to do. And it's because downforce helps with grip. And grip is something that you generally do certainly much want. Because it helps with, like with acceleration. Because it helps you transmit the force to the floor. It helps with high top speed. Because it helps you transmit the power to the floor, to the ground. And it helps with turning. Because it helps transmit the power to the ground. Because a lot of people seem to think that it's just whenever you have wheels, if there's not enough grip, you have to add more wheels. That's the only option. No, as it's kind of like the grip and the engine power both have to be up to snuff, and only as much as either of those, only as much as the lowest of the two will actually work for. I might actually put that on the altitude sensor, but only like as much as the lowest of those two is how much power you can actually withstand in turning, and like how much you can actually exert in acceleration and top speed. But like the downforce is also a part of the grip, other than just the surface area, the material, and then you've also got, for example, like on these wheels, it's not really the material that's doing the thing. There's an important part that is the metal spikes that are digging into the ground, which is this shape. Which, fun fact, if you're on a racing track that is flat, then flat tires will work well. While if you're off-roading, which is certainly not flat, if you're looking at this situation right now, that's not flat, then, but I'm mainly talking about, like small rocks and stuff, pebbles, that make the driving terrain a bit rougher, then it's actually nicer to have, like, depending on the situation, have some, like, just some indents in the wheels, and then like for example, like tractor wheels, monster truck wheels, they have very big indents, which is so that stuff can kind of like get in there, and it can try and puncture through the earth a bit more, and like that get stuck behind some things that will then help it move forward, which sounds really inefficient and weird and all, but that was not a great jump. That does work. But on the track, you want to have as much surface area that's touching as you can, because that will help it, because there's no things to really grip behind, so you kind of just have to grip on it. And then you might say, if you look at that, you might say, hey, so that means that off-road stuff is actually more, because it actually digs in, that would mean that off-road stuff is more efficient, so we should all have off-road wheels and go drive off-roads. But actually, if you look at that a bit more, then you'll notice that there's a lot of situations where you're not sure what the off-road is going to be. So it can be that you have like exactly like ground with rocks and pebbles and some tree branches maybe in it, That's very good for that, where you can really kind of dig in a bit, get stuck behind some things. But there's also sand. And then, well, you can kind of dig in, but there's not really much to get stuck behind. I don't know why I'm still talking about this, probably because I don't have anything more interesting to talk about. But yeah, I know, I kind of think it's funny how off-road actually works better with not flat tires, and on-road works better with flat tires. But then again, it depends on what kind of road you have, exactly how flat the tires should be. Anyway, don't mind me, I'm just a rambling young man. I'm not old. But yeah, nice flip. But no, I don't imminently have any new ideas for this thing. I might just like save this somewhere and see if I can do probably one last one. I have about 20 minutes left. Yeah, I think I'll do that. What about Bingo car? I don't know why I always give them the tag. I don't even think you see that here, no. But for some reason, I do. It's a force of habit. What about something underwater? I don't know why. I suddenly thought of it, and I was like, yeah, for that makes sense for workshop submissions, so people can see what it is. Yeah. So then, but I never really do upload, so yeah. So we have verified that it doesn't make sense that I use them. If ever there was anything useful. So I want to make something underwater. What do I want to make underwater? I want to make I always have like this, and then there's a tail behind it. What if I make this part of the tail? Which would make it the whole. Wouldn't really make it a tail anymore, because it's not kind of like dragging behind it. We'll see how that. I'll see. Whenever I'm working on anything that I don't know official terms for, when I don't know any official terms for it, and I kind of just like I kind of just have things in my head, and I don't have a clue why I came up with those things, but they work for me, and that works for me because it does. Words are funny old things. Oh yeah, I like to spend a lot of time on single vehicles, but I usually find that if I do that, I don't get much more interesting out of them. Yeah, I do like. I have a bit of a not. What's the word I'm looking for? Not erratic, not sporadic brain. I just do things, and then new things pop into my brain. So and then if I know that there aren't any things that I will really probably improve about the current design anymore, then I'm just like, I'll just start making a new design that probably has much room for improvement left. I should probably do this here. Did I just... okay. I don't know why I always like to have have a bad. I mean, this usually it makes sense. For this, it doesn't really make sense. So I'm gonna pretend like things that I do have a reason, and remove something that doesn't have a reason. Now, I think I'm gonna go for the good old principle of what is it? Something. This is a thing that I like to use on some submarines, where you kind of treat it a bit like a plane, but also like not quite like a plane. Oh, that's. I was trying to go up there with the front. That 30. That didn't. That wasn't 30 degrees. Also, I need some more up force on the, or like some up drag. I need some more up drag on the front. Okay, that is good with aerodynamics. Because in water, aerodynamics suddenly become much more important. It's like, oh, I get why they're not. Because I'm an idiot. They're set to A and D, not to W and S. Is that right? Other way around. I don't know why I didn't realize that, but that is a typical me type of thing. Okay, it seems like my back is indeed much heavier than my front, which is what you would expect from this shape. So I'm gonna try to see if I can make that make a bit more sense. But especially for when I'm going like this, well, then it suddenly goes down, which, oh, that, I guess that has to do I guess that has to do with the things that I just put on there, that they're keeping it up. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna put some small tail fins on the front as well. I do regret that in Trailmakers you can't really see the hello ocean. Took me a second to get that one. It's a submarine, and it's one thing that I don't like about submarines is that they're always slower than I want them to go. I want to have the fastest things possible ever in the history of mankind, but submarines just aren't made for that kind of thing. I wish you had nuclear, as in like radioactive blocks in Trailmakers. That would make submarines so much more interesting. Unfortunately, submarines aren't really that interesting for warfare. Yeah, I like how outboard engines are pretty good underwater as well as on water. So I want to have some ability to control the yaw, but how am I gonna do that? I might just do it like this. This is a bit ridiculous, but hey, I am ridiculous. Oh, yeah, yeah, that is the right size. Because else it looks stupid. If I place the wrong block, it also looks stupid. The joke's on you. I always look stupid. That should be pretty right. And I guess that also should be pretty right. That's not what I want to do, is it? Is it? I guess it is, actually. Whoop. The lamp just did the thing. Not the brake. It just turned from white to red. Because I have a fancy lamp. Oh, that works really well. I did not expect that to work well. That actually works well. I didn't expect to be making anything that works well today. I am... Wow. Look at that. It actually turns. It actually controls the yaw. Also, I do think I still have to make the front a bit heavier because, yeah, I have to... Or is it just... I might actually just make the back a bit more aerodynamically drag upwards. Words. Still a bit behind. I might just actually put some... This might totally offset the balance, but I'll just test it anyway. I'll test it anyway. Huh. That seems much better than it was before. And I like to have the nose point down a bit more, because down is underappreciated. But it should be appreciated, because it's very good in certain situations. Ooh, ocean filtration. I have been ocean filtrated. Ocean filtrated. I guess there are words now. The puns. Ooh. What about Stin filtration? Ocean thought she was infiltrating, but in reality, I'm the one who infiltrated my own server. It's kind of like stealing back. What was I just... Oh, yeah. To you, everything sounds like seg. I was thinking... This thing doesn't have enough jets. As I always think. Everything sounds like huh. Well, it does if you always have everything sound like huh. I swear I have a brain somewhere. Where's Ocean? And Bougie. Oh yeah, Bougie. I was like, I recognized smart things for once. I'm even bigger brain than the biggest of brains. Why am I not making sense in how I'm... What? I'm tilting upward. I mean, maybe it's because I have much more weight in the back than in the front, like I already... And then I added pontoons in the back, which the water work well, but then when it's above water, they don't work well because because they're heavy. Damn, that's a helicopter. I just realized that. I just realized that I'm flying around with this submarine that I just put 2 thrusters on. I was like literally like, oh damn, that's a gyrocopter. Ah. And I was like, that's a gyrocopter. Oh yeah, I'm in a submarine. Next to the gyrocopter. What's Ocean doing? Is Ocean ironically in... Oh no, she's in front of the ocean. Betrayal. Seagood. Steven Seagal? Is that how you pronounce it? I am always very bad at knowing famous people. Damn. Ocean is clairvoyant. Not of the summer. Well, I could make it. Because seagulls are with water. See? It's a triple coincidence. Well, I mean, I made the third part of the coincidence. But now it's a triple coincidence. Yeah, I'm gonna call this amphibious submarine plane, which is something they have yet to find out or to invent in real life, by the way. Can I just have props for that? I've made plenty of I've made like a few amphibious submarines before. In fact, this one can't even go on water. But I am ahead of real science. Seagull. Air. This is always very difficult. Is it an airplane? Is it a submarine? Is it a boat? Is it an untagged? I just realized as well, because I just had the whole thing about like you don't need to have those tags, or I don't need to have those tagged because I don't actually really put stuff on the workshop. Then why do I have that whole like? Because I don't need to think about that, because I don't need to have... Oh. I've quickly deconstructed. I don't know, I probably will still tag... Yeah, I'll probably still tag everything. It's strong habits, man. Whoa. That's not the left that I meant. I'm trying to come over to see things, but it... Oh. Damn. Can I stand on it? Nope, no. Sorry. Damn. There's a gyrocopter right there. Noises of amazement. When the system is narrating and it's saying literally everything, anywhere, anytime, and it's like noises of amazement. I love it when stuff like that just so dumb. Ooh, I'm gonna hijack this one. Ooh, this is like my stunt helicopter, but steerable. But take some practice. So shift and control it forward and backward. I guess crashing into the water is a nice, easy thing. Because, I mean, if you've got it, why not use it? And you can literally just go into there and dive. So much easier. Hello? Apiekas? I should just do a round for like how it would be pronounced in every language that I know, because I'm not certain how it would be. Like Apicus, Apikos, Apietsas, Apicas. Huh. Spanish, Apiecas. What language am I missing? I mean, the third one. Apietsas? Was that the third one? I don't know how to count. I also appear to be incapable of landing it up, right side up. It is Dutch. Apicas. We are also Dutch. Apicas. There seems to be something about this helicopter that I'm missing how you properly land it in water. Or maybe it's like, no, that. Maybe it's shallower water that works better. No. Oh wait, there was something with the 1, 2, 3, 4, wasn't there? I just saw that and I then forgot. But I don't remember. It was in the chat. Oh. The ones. And then you press 1 for it to go. That 2 tilt forward, 3 tilt back, 4 propeller. That's easier. That's definitely easier than the thing. Yeah, space and shift for doing it manually. Is that done with logic blocks? Because then you definitely understand those better than I do. I also appear to be upside down. Oh, that was a reasonably well survived landing, which was definitely not because of what I did there. That worked out. There is also a... Oh. I just realized there is also a way to control the roll. I was constantly just changing the yaw, and that's not as easy to fly. Oh damn. I have been rainbowed. Is that a whole rainbow? I guess. Ocean, what? Ocean says, "Why do I just have a single grid?" It's hard to read. Why do I just have a single grid 1x4 saved under the name within progress plane? Oh, Kerbal Space Program. Aspiration. I like how this. I like how there are actually humans. That's fun. That came out really weird. It. Anyway. Can I do a flip? Ocean, you always prefer penis. Always. I was gonna do something with having brains, but do I have brains? I'm not so sure. There's another what? Another peanuts? Single wheel named within progress car. Here you see the magical workings of ocean motorcycle wheels. Well, it's kind of illegal. I keep thinking of something to do, and then I don't do anything. I had an idea of what I should do, but then I didn't do, and then I forgot to do. If that makes any sense. Probably not. I assume not, because that would be very... yeah, sure. Let me just land this. Let me quote unquote land this. Oh, am I gonna land it? Will I? Will he land it? Will I? Will I? Will I? Will I? Ooh. Will I? Oh, wait, that's right. I was controlling the roll. I count that as a land. Definitely how to land. Why did I change over to a car to move 2 feet? Oh, what? That's not a frog. I'm sorry, Ocean, that's not a frog. That's not a frog. That's a lawnmower, evidently. It's not a frog. It's regardless of whether or not it's a frog, it's not a frog. Which is an odd sentence, but still. It may be a blender. What is that a... It's like a... I guess it's not supposed to be like anything, probably. Why do I always try to make things think? Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I'm... Oh, wait, there's also... Uh-huh. I get it. E. Oh, there is an E, yeah. I was like, there's also more propellers, but oh, they're probably just not in working yet. They are. I just didn't read. I can't count to 6, which has clearly been proven. What's my brain doing again? Oh yeah, yeah. 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 Are they full? They're not full rainbows, are they? There's purple, blue. There's only one color of purplish. Otherwise, everything's complete. And there's, moreover, there's 9 colors, it seems like. Anyway, it's a pretty cool thing, though. I like it. Well, they have. Don't they technically have one violet and one. Not lavender. One violet and one. What's the other one? Like one that's blue. No, that's violet, actually. Oh yeah, when you transform, it always keeps the same keys in the left top of the screen that, like, the vehicle that you started out as has. It's I guess it's just a bug. Yeah, I guess it's just a bug. I don't know what else I was gonna say there. I like this. It's a cool thing. It's a Thule King. It could turn pretty fast. This is... Some people will become unwell from seeing this footage. It is staying upright real good. That's real good done. Real goodly done. Derp fate. Ooh. I love the mustache. I always love mustaches. And that's it. That's real strong upper jaw there. Missing a lower jaw. Which is, I mean, I don't use mustard in the salad. That doesn't make any sense. Wait, mustache. I mean, why did my brain default to I mean, because it's salad, but still. Whoa. Yeah, and I do love mustard dressings as well. I do put that on my salad. Why did I say I don't? This is kind of just the after party of the stream. Just being. Oh. And here you get to see how dumb I am when I'm controlling things, just forgetting to turn on things that should be on. It's a miracle. I don't know why it is, but all of my things control really, really badly. And like whenever anyone else uses them, it's like, this does not work. It doesn't make sense. Why is it like it is? But then, like, and whenever I use anything that controls normally, it's almost hard to control it, which is all in a strange way. Like, as in things that people make to control well, then they don't, like, I can't do them well. But then when I have my own things that control horribly, then I can just use them very well. Maybe because I've spent all the time working on them, and in that, using all the controls. Oh, whoop. I am down. Man down. Man down. Whoop. Yeah, I guess it is familiarity. 6x8x5 car. I am... What? Why is it 6x8x5? This puzzles me. Why did you make it 6x8x5? And then you hardly use... But why did it have to be exactly 6x8x5? Or did you have one of those days where you were like, whatever size it, like, I just have to, like you're thinking about things and it doesn't work. You just have to try normal things and they don't work. So you have to come up with something weirder. But then why did you do it this way? I still don't get it. 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 Why is there one wing? Oh. Wait, is oceans? That's... Wait, the width is... Wait, ocean seems to... Huh? No, yeah, they're... Yeah, oceans one is 8 wide. Also, to be able to glide. Then why did you add wings in that way? 10 long. 10 long. Oh yeah, it's because it's 1 and then 3 times 2 and then 3. But ocean, that's not... You don't glide like that. That's not legal. Oh yeah, that's what I had. Wait. No, I mean this. It's really, when you're doing something like this, and you're streaming and you're in a lobby with like other people, then suddenly you realize how random all of the things are that you do. You just drive around and are in different places, and it doesn't make any sense why you're doing it. But it does happen. It just is that way. For some reason, you're constantly everywhere and nowhere, and just changing everything and using different vehicles. Even if you don't need to, you can just walk over there. I don't know why, but it is. Ooh, shooting is fun. I like me some shooting. How about tiny cannon shooting? And big cannon. What? I have stolen someone's big cannon. It's a face. It's not really... It's like one eye to... just pretend that it is a face. That would be very nice. I have stolen Ocean's big cannon. They like... Does that Makes sense. Yes. That is right. I can shoot. I can shoot. I can shoot. I can no longer shoot because I managed to shoot off my own friend. Very impressively. And I didn't even kill Ocean. Because that's an immortal cab. In fact, even for water. So I don't know, I was busy trying to push you towards the water. Well, that's it. Whoop. I have stripped myself of 90% of myself. That's not 90, 10%, 20%. In which the case of 10%, 90% only makes more sense. Oh, that's the, what's the name? I was thinking of a completely wrong thing as well. That's the worst thing. Trilobite, yeah. I was thinking of what's the name of those, like, just bugs. But then I realized I'm very dumb. I also still should have... Because that was from Pillbug, yeah. I think I was thinking of a Pillbug. Here. Bug. I also, because I believe that was from the same challenge that we did together. I should also probably lower my graphics a bit. Because this is not a great frame rate. Fast and ugly. Apply. Oh dear, that really is fast. If you know what I mean. Oh, you stab. You stab. You stab. Oh, you stab. Yeah, what did I make again? I forget what I... Oh. I don't know what I made again. Oh, damn. Did we just all massively declare war towards every other person? Like, the whole lobby, everybody's just committing war. Ooh. Which one? Because here. Biplane. Ocean. Can I summon you? Ocean. Do I have the power to anime summon you? Do I ever? Ocean, get in the back. I forget what the controls are again. Also, I did just realize that Ocean is going to blow us up a lot of times. This is war. This is all-out war. And this thing that I made it out of a... Oh yeah, that's right. The controls didn't actually separate because of, I don't know, because the game works that way. Because you can control the whole plane from the back or from the front, and then, like when you detach, it doesn't actually detach those controls from each other, even though they're separate structures. It turns out. Which made the whole bomber instantly less useful. But it's still pretty funny. It's mainly funny. It's not much more than funny. You bomber by crashing into things. Oh, am I in the bomber now? This is how to detach. This is Q is how to bomb. Oh, I'm in the front. Left control. I forget how this thing works again. Oh, left controls to go back in water. That's because it's from the amphibious thing, even though this thing doesn't have the stuff anymore. I don't think it can go amphibious anymore. The bombs can't detach. It's much more fun that way. However, there are... Maybe I accidentally actually did those controls of the detacher like on the same keys as the bombs themselves, so you can't actually detach things. But yeah, the idea is that as soon as you detach the bombs, you're also not gonna survive anymore because there is no wings left. I guess it can still kind of oh nope, it doesn't have enough power to actually amphibious. Too bad. So sad. Huh. I'm gonna look at that for a second. Dynamite with Q. You can actually detach with E. So I can be like this, and then boom. But usually you do that in the sky, and it will be more useful. See, I thought about real life applications. Wait, what if I... actually, maybe I can also just steer it from the back. Who is exploding over there? That's what happens when you leave kids unsupervised for like 3 seconds. Okay. You can also fly this thing from the back. I've just realized. Then I detach everything. Everything. Oh no, actually that was a different key. Not everything with E, and then I can just explode on the ground. It's definitely never actually useful, but I still like. That was beautiful. Just all of a sudden, out of the air comes the extra bomb. Whoa. Well, I guess I don't need detacher blocks, because Ocean just also detached my front. Damn. Ocean, do you remember when we actually always used to use metal crate dispensers instead of cannons? Because they were so much better. How long ago must that have been? 12 ages? 17 ages? How many things do I have? Well, about 400 something. I just realized. I don't actually think I have any safe... Ooh, maybe I do have one safe. Is that a snowball? That's a snowball. I don't actually have anything from that area anymore because at some point my C drive crashed and I lost all of the stuff on there, which included all of the Trailmakers stuff that I had saved, which was sad. Now I have it all on D, which is much harder to crash because it's an HDD. Gatam Ramardaram. The better name for a Katamar. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jeebus. This kind of scares me. It's a thing that I've marked as a nightmare. Oh, dear. That's the opposite way from how it should be going. When I go right, it goes left. And when it goes right, I go left. That makes sense somehow. This is... I don't like it. Oh yeah, the pizza man from last... from the last episode of SIS. It's Pizza Man. Those are projectiles. That is projectilation. Hello there. I guess turrets don't work so well anymore when they don't work so well. That's one hell of a pogo stick though. That jumped real nice. I wonder if I have anything that has good guns. Do I? I know something actually that I think has good guns. What about... Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to find it though. That's a question. It's... I think it's before that. It has to be before that, right? Well, right in the sense of right for me. What do I think? I think it's before those. There's so many things in here that you could definitely question why they exist. There, the swallow. So that's, I think that's around the same point. The not so small boy. Damn, I have... If I would ever do a stream about like showing every one of my blueprints and especially explaining why I've ever made them, you would lose about 50 years of your life watching that entire stream and still not understand it. Anyway, guns. Do I not have a... Huh. Anyway. VTOL. Oh. Ooh. There we go. Guns. Also not very well controllable. I guess because I added extra weight to the... That's a lot of guns. There's a lot of gun sounds. Whoop. It actually... This thing has... actually done some... I believe it's actually like taken down some people in dogfights before. Which is weird, because it's so weird. Yo, Ocean, what the hell? Oh! The turrets! From the game that we haven't played for like a long time, but that still has its remnants. Whoop, almost got it. Almost got him. I am dead now. Are you happy now that I'm dead? I'm catching up with you. No, I will kill more people. I will kill the world. But I'll forget to open the mouth before firing. Oh wait, that's right. As I discovered 10 seconds ago, I don't have any yaw for this. The oh dear ocean. That's such a confusing little build you have there. Oh, is that from one of the races that we did? course, every sense in my body says I shouldn't the cake. But I will the cake. Hello there, cake. Huh. Probably nothing wrong with those explosives. Huh. I guess the cake is fine. If you don't know what the cake is, it's devastating, but I almost survived that by being dumb. The pie is untruthful. Love it. The bakery product. Oh god. Here you see the dynamic. Ocean is the funny. I then the donut deceives. I don't know why that's so funny, but it is. Is the donut a secret agent? Is that canon? Is it safe to assume that the donut is a secret agent for the unit of the Soviets? The croissant, er is niets aan de hand. I love the word the croissant. Good words. What about this though? Self-destruction button. Self-destruct button is the word. You got some case of unstable pie there, I'm afraid. There appears to be a vehicle inside your cake. Interesting. Can I get out? I got out. I got out. I got out. Now get away. Get away now. What happened there? I just touched you. Oh, I see what happened there. You happened there. Whoop. That didn't work. How about I try to murder you in... How about I try to murder you in the Super Bowl? This is kind of the worst moment ever to use that, but it would have been not funny regardless, so I'm taking the moment anyway. I don't care if it's not funny. I'm not funny. Haha. That was my devilish master plan all along. But somehow that makes sense, I'm sure. This is... I bet when people open Twitch or YouTube and see that we are not the bit. Yeah, you're right, not the bit anymore. And that they see that we're like streaming or that there's a new video of ours, a new VOD uploaded. I love to think that this is what they want to see. I love to think that this is what they're expecting to get to find in that stream or VOD. In fact, I aspire to have that be the truth. But also not at the cost of good content. If that makes any sense. Which it probably doesn't. Flip. Well, here you go. What if what if people in like WWE and all that are actually just like they all think they're upside down and they're just trying to help each other get right side up. So that they like oh sorry. But they're not trying to I wanna skate. I wanna skate. Ocean, come skate. I'm amazed that this thing is actually like working, like keeping me on. That's really cool. I love that. Let's go. So, Tim, you're not cheating for the skateboard contest, right? You're just kicking kicking the skateboard and yourself forward with your foot, right? You're not using any hidden engines. No, I'm being totally kosher. Doing the ollie. What are skateboard tricks again? Oh. The falling off the skateboard. Very, very good. I'm going to recapture. This could be a mini game, actually. You made that into a mini game where you have to stay on a driving skateboard for as long as you can. Yeah, like a rodeo bull thing. What other kinds of rodeo bulls do you know? Yes, a rodeo bull thing. Oh, we getting in for the real work. I don't want to think about what you just suggested there. That is... We're going for a monster ride. How do you... A ride in a... No, but then it doesn't work because it's not a monster truck. Huh. Why am I trying to figure that out? Out of all of the things that I could be doing right now, why am I trying to figure out what it's called to be... Oh. What it's called to be on a monster truck skateboard. I guess in the end, Van Daltjes Kids is the real winner because they've not fallen off one single time, whereas all of us have several times. Whoa! Separate the strongest from the weakest. There we go. I know. I swear, I was trying. Oh. That's always a shame to see young talent drive into spike tracks laid down by not the government to stop criminals. And then they don't have a skateboard anymore and they can't skate anymore. It would have worked. Shut up. It wouldn't have worked. There was no way that was ever going to work. But I tried. So you gotta commend me for my effort. You're allowed to commend me for my effort. I thought it said going for a big lump, but it's going for a big jump here. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bruh. Let's go for a big jump, bruh. Oh. Oh. If we can stay on the skateboard. I might sound like it's an 80s hippie dude, but I can't even stand on a skateboard. I don't even know what it is. Is it one of those things with a knife? I don't know where that was going. It was, I mean, I'm sure it would have been very funny, but I don't get. Ocean swooping in with the barely nowhere jokes. Why is it such fun to ride on a skateboard? Maybe because I don't have to do that much myself. That's just the whole incentive here. Maybe you still had the rubber band. I don't know. People these days don't use rubber bands anymore to not lose their cars, do they? Then it must have been something, or they're ancient insects. They're trilobites. Are they? I don't think they exist anymore, right? Or like appear in nature. Anyway. Oh. This really is a lot of fun. Just be in a lobby with several people. Just do things. Oh. We are not good enough at staying on the skateboard. I don't get the gay part. It's not. I mean, like, of course, there are certain definitions of gay that I couldn't easily test, but. Huh. It's very interesting if you listen to that, like, to that noise that you hear, like a. I don't know if it's like a flanger or if it's like some stuff like, you know, like similar frequencies and then intermingling with each other. Those kids always intermingling. Huh. Who would have thought? Not only that there would ever be a battle between skateboard and evil gay, what was it? Gay demon. Between skateboard and gay demon, but also that it wouldn't be super clear right away. That's, I don't know, if I have to think of one outcome, I would not have thought of a checkmate between the two, or like checkmate is what I would, because skateboards are much more powerful than gay demons. It's ball time. I am baffled. Let's go. The skateboard is absolutely breaking my bolt. I need more weight to do that kind of a thing. But it was working surprisingly well. This really is taking control on performance, but right now performance isn't the most important thing. Having fun is the most important thing. Have fun. I demand it. No. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There's what I meant to do. I am heavy boy. Take me on, skateboard. I will heavy you. Heavy you in between my fingers. Oh. Okay, demon it is. And or skin. I love how this has turned into a wrestling match. And I also love how the contestants in the wrestling match are Demon, Skateboard, and Bull. This is really, really something. Oh damn, what's that? That's the smallest car that I've ever seen in Trailmakers that even looks like an actual car. That's good. Yeah. In real life wrestling I always have as well. My bull gets stuck in a skateboard and then they fly up together, probably euphorically. Ooh. Oh. I always have lag in real life wrestling. That's whenever I lose something, I always tell my manager, "Oh, it wasn't my fault. It was lag." Whoa. Combo time. What kind of combo time, though? I have brought to you skateboard. Skateboard. If you don't want my skateboard, then I shall slap you with it. I shall attempt to slap you with it. I shall crush you underneath it. Which in this case suddenly is much more effective than normally. What's happening? What are you making? What is it? Tell me. You can tell me, right? You can tell me. You can tell me everything. No! Skateboard. This, I like to call this piece Bowlboard. It represents the inner struggle of all those who have ever played skateboard. Because skateboard is played, not ridden. That's definitely how things work, right? Oh, get under. What? Oh dear. I'll try. Gamma time. It's flown away. Oh. Now we have a ground mounted turret. No, no longer. Ocean? Great. Love it. Perfect. Ocean, is it really that hard? Genuine question. Because it seems like you're really struggling with that. Don't you like your skateboard mounted cannons? Love them. Couldn't do without them. When there's that stupid asshole in the park again that's always on the half pipe so no one else can use it because that's how half pipes work. Just cannon. 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 Mount me. Mount me, father. Ooh. Hey, you want to see something funny? Gun. I do think I have to stop in 10 minutes. I'll have to leave. Ah, sad. But I think we're definitely gonna do more Trailmakers streams. Again, just like some, every now and again, because it seems like it's definitely fun. That's for certain. Come. Oh. That did not provide the help that I hoped it would. That is cannons. Don't worry, I shall protect you both from the skateboard cannon god. Oh. Oh. My wheels are burned to a crisp. Burned to a crisp, mate. Oh. 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 Now it's just turned into drowning. A bit more pathetic. But can you do this? Oh wait, not with all of my blocks. My weight blocks I can. It's like Warships, the board game. Well, board. It's not really a board game, I guess. It's... What am I saying? It's nothing like Warships. It's the only thing that is similar is that it's war and it's ships. It's not even warships. We're not even warships. There is one thing that functions as a ship. Kind of. For short, perfect, what's the name? Perfect, not acronym, what am I thinking of? Anal IG, anal eggy. Anal eggy. Love me some anal aggies. That sounds bad. Whoop. I am going to have to go pretty soon though. I think I'll just do the outro. So yeah, it was a very fun stream. I actually made several vehicles that actually did interesting stuff, which if you look back on what I made, that's quite surprising. So yeah, we're probably gonna keep doing Trailmaker streams every now and again because they're very fun, and it also seems like more people enjoy Trailmaker streams than some of the other streams. Possibly because those are some lesser known games. As in It Takes Two has really had its time, and then nobody actually finished the game on YouTube and stuff, I believe. Stuff like that. So they're not necessarily games that are as popular currently as Trailmakers or something. Anyway, there seem to be a lot of people that enjoy Trailmaker stream. that enjoy Trailmaker stream, so we're probably going to keep doing that. Every now and again. Whenever we have the time, whenever it makes sense. But yeah, it was a very fun stream. I also loved just being in the same lobby with everyone and just doing things for the heck of it. So yeah, I would love to see you, everyone, back again in the future. Oh yeah, I press the funny button. They're humorous. Vandaltjes kids, do you think they're humorous? Are the buttons funny? Do you think the buttons are funny? Are they amusing? The buttons, the funny buttons. Are they? Just say they're funny. Say that they're funny. Say that they're hilarious buttons. Because with those buttons are so funny that they allow you to subscribe to us, and because they're the subscribe button and the like button. And see, we have an independent person that has definitely not been influenced by us that says they are hilarious. Approved. So yeah. I hope to see people back in next streams or next VODs. This was a lot of fun. So, bien. Ho, 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 ho.